to today's video, and today we're going to learn how to solve simple algebraic equations. Before we start solving equations, let's learn about PEMDAS. PEMDAS is used to simplify expressions and is also called order of operations. You may ask what PEMDAS is, and PEMDAS stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So this is basically the order in which you use operations to simplify expressions correctly. And we're not simplifying expressions when we talk about solving algebraic equations. Equations and expressions are different because equations have an equal sign and expressions do not. So you may ask, why are we learning about PEMDAS? Well, PEMDAS is used in solving equations because you do it oppositely. So let's start. Here is example problem number 1. 5x plus 3 minus 10x is equal to 28. The first step is to subtract 3 from both sides, because essentially our goal is to isolate the variable, which is x. After that, you end up with 5x minus 10x is equal to 25. Then you combine like terms, and the like terms are 5x and negative 10x. They are like terms because they have the same variable. You end up with negative 5x is equal to 25. The next step is to divide both sides by negative 5. And then you end up with x is equal to negative 5. Let's move on to the next problem. This problem is 2y plus 30 is equal to y. So, now we need to subtract y from both sides. You get y plus 30 is equal to 0. Then you subtract 30 from both sides. You get y is equal to negative 30. And, as you see, we don't use PEMDAS, all the steps of PEMDAS, in every single equation or expression. It depends on the expression or the equation itself. As you see here, we only use subtraction and subtraction. That's only the things we used. We only use subtraction to solve this. Example problem number 3 is 45z minus 10z plus 50 is equal to 85. The first step here is to subtract 50 from both sides. You end up with 45z minus 10z is equal to 35. And then you need to combine like terms, and the like terms are 45z and negative 10z. They are like terms because they have the same variable. And some like terms sometimes have multiple variables. Okay. After you do that, you end up with 35z is equal to 35. The next step is pretty obvious, and it is to divide 35 from both sides. You end up with z is equal to 1. Here is our challenge problem. And we're using the distributive property. And let's talk about the distributive property right now. So, whenever you have something like this, it shows you that the distributive property is being used right here. So the first step, we're going to simplify the left side of our equation. So to use the distributive property, what you do is you multiply this number by all the different terms inside the parentheses. So let's do that. 0.05 times 10x, and then 0.05 times negative 5. So that's basically the distributive property. So after we do that, you end up with 0.5x minus 0.25 is equal to negative x plus 0.25. The next step is to add x to both sides and add 0.25 to both sides. This is basically doing two steps in one step. After you do that, you end up with 1.5x is equal to 0.5. Then you divide both sides by 1.5, and then you end up with x is equal to 0.3 repeating. And this line here represents repeating. So the value is 0.33333, or just 1/3, in fractional form. So that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys next time, and be sure to like and subscribe. See you guys later.